Welcome to episode 380, where I'm talking about joint health. I discuss the role of the doshas of vata, pitta, and kapha in joint health and the importance of proper functioning of our digestive system to ensure healthy joints. I also give lots of preventative tips to help maintain healthy, pain-free joints, ensuring a better quality of life as you age. So please stay tuned. Hi there, I'm your host Colette, and on this podcast I will be sharing the teachings of Ayurveda, yoga, and holistic health practices. Now, if you're new to Ayurveda, I recommend checking out the first couple of episodes where I do an introduction to Ayurveda and the mind-body types. Thanks for listening, and now here's a new episode. Hey there, and welcome back to the Elements of Ayurveda podcast. It's me, Colette, today for an episode about joint health. Now, Ayurveda views mobility as a reflection of vitality, when joints are healthy, well lubricated, and we can move with ease. Healthy joints are essential for performing our everyday activities. The joints are the pivots of the body, the space where two or more bones meet, like the shoulder, the hips, the knees, and the elbows. They enable flexibility, movement, and range of motion. When joints are strong and lubricated, movement feels effortless, but stiffness or inflammation can create restrictions, leading to compensatory strain in other parts of the body. When joints are compromised, basic movements like walking, climbing stairs, or even the act of sitting can become more painful and challenging. Chronic joint pain or stiffness can lead to reduced quality of life and emotional stress, affecting our independence and participation in physical or social activities. And joint health plays a crucial role in how well we age. Strong, flexible joints allow for continued independence and activity into our later years. I'm going to take a look now at the role the doshas play in joint health. Let's start with the vata dosha, which is made up of the air and space elements. And vata governs movement and lubrication in the joints. The bone tissue and the joint space is considered to be the site of the vata dosha. When aggravated, it can lead to dryness, stiffness, cracking or popping sounds, pain during movement, and the joint may also be cold to the touch, and the pain may worsen during cold weather. Now, some of the possible causes of a vata aggravation could be due to aging, excessive physical activity, a vata aggravating diet, and a compromised digestive fire or agni. Essentially, a vata aggravation can create degeneration due to excessive dryness and depletion of the tissues. This is often seen in conditions like osteoarthritis. The pitta dosha, which is made up of the fire and water elements, regulates metabolism and inflammation in the body. Imbalances can lead to heated conditions like inflammatory arthritis, causing redness, tender, swollen, painful joints. And this can include feeling pain without any aggravating movement. The joint can also be hot to the touch, and there may be burning sensations. Some of the possible causes of a pitta imbalance could be excess heat in the body, high stress, or eating a pitta aggravating diet, which can result in an accumulation of toxins or ama in the joints, leading to an inflammatory response, like that in rheumatoid arthritic conditions. The kapha dosha, which is made up of the earth and water elements, provides cushioning, lubrication, and stability to the joints. Shleshika kapha, which is a sub-dosha of kapha, is present in the joints, and its thick, sticky, oily qualities help to lubricate and nourish the joint. When aggravated, it may cause heaviness and swelling due to excess fluid accumulation in the joints. And there may be stiffness, particularly early in the morning. Some of the possible causes of a kapha aggravation could be a sedentary lifestyle, a kapha aggravating diet, and agni mandya, or a slow digestive fire. A kapha aggravation can lead to excessive lubrication and excessive accumulation of fluids, leading to stagnation. Now, if Shleshika kapha, that subdosha of kapha, loses this unctuous quality and dries up, then vata can enter the joint space and can result in the dry and rough qualities of vata, resulting in the cracking, popping, stiffness, and pain I mentioned a moment ago. Joint health serves as a reflection for our overall health. Issues in the joints often reflect imbalances in the doshas, as I just mentioned, and digestive problems, which can lead to toxin accumulation or ama in the body. Ayurveda's approach to joint health is not just about addressing symptoms, but also creating balance at every level. It empowers individuals to take preventative and restorative actions to maintain healthy, pain-free joints and enhance overall well-being. So now let's take a look at these preventative steps. Of course, these guidelines are very general, and this advice would need to be tailored to each individual. But this will give you an overall outlook on what steps can be taken in order to ensure good joint health. First of all, let's look at diet and nutrition. Eating a seasonal diet which naturally supports balancing the doshas is important because Mother Nature provides us with balancing foods for each season. So that's a great place to start. And prioritizing foods that pacify your individual constitution and if you have any current imbalances. Now, this is where you want to work with an Ayurvedic professional and get this advice tailored to you. Including healthy fats, such as ghee, olive oil, and avocados, which help to provide essential fatty acids to nourish the joints and maintain that lubrication. Of course, avoiding ultra-processed foods and cold or heavy foods, which can affect the functioning of the agni or digestive fire and which can contribute to ama or toxins in the body. Incorporating digestive spices to aid digestion and to ensure that your agni is functioning optimally. And it's also good to include anti-inflammatory spices like turmeric, ginger, and black pepper. So I've already talked a lot about our agni, our digestive fire, and ama, toxins. But proper digestion is key to joint health. Ayurveda emphasizes that undigested food and toxins, ama, accumulate in the body when digestion is weak. And this ama can travel throughout the body and often settles in weaker areas like the joints, causing stiffness, inflammation, and pain. Ayurveda recommends regular cleansing of the body to help eliminate any accumulation of these toxins and any accumulation of the doshas, which of course can cause joint problems as well, as I mentioned previously. Now, if you're interested in a supported holistic cleanse, my next group discounted digestive reset cleanse starts on March 28th. This is a spring cleanse to help eliminate any accumulation of toxins or ama and any accumulation of the doshas from the body, especially the kapha dosha, which can be in excess at the end of spring season. This digestive reset cleanse helps to restore proper functioning of the digestive fire, to promote optimal health, healthy joints, and prevent illness by boosting your immune system. For more information, check out the link in the show notes or visit my website, elementshealingandwellbeing.com. For the group discounted cleanse starting March 28, go to the events page. If you would rather do a private cleanse and choose your own dates, then check out the programs page. So now let's look at the dhatus, or our body tissues, and joint nourishment. The joints are part of ashti dhatu, or bone tissue, and are supported by Shleshika kapha, the subdosha of the kapha dosha, which, as I mentioned earlier, provides lubrication. If the bone tissue is weak, or Schlesinger kapha is depleted, the joints lose their integrity, leading to pain and restricted movement. Joint health is deeply tied to the health of the preceding tissues in the Ayurvedic chain of tissue nourishment. The tissues preceding the bone tissue or dhatu are rasa, plasma, rakta, blood, mamsa, muscle, and meda, fat. Now, I discussed the nutrition of the dhatus in episode 92, and it's very important to understand that the health of our diet and the health or status of our agni, our digestive fire, determines our overall health, including the health of our tissues or dhatus, and in turn, the health of our joints. If you're not familiar with that Ayurvedic chain of tissue nourishment, I highly recommend checking out episode 92 for this fascinating wisdom from Ayurveda. Lifestyle practices are very important, of course, as well for our joint health. Poor lifestyle habits can manifest as joint problems. Ayurveda recognizes that joint issues are not isolated. They often reflect systemic imbalances and require a holistic approach for prevention and healing. So we need to look at our daily habits and practicing dinacharya, those daily self-care practices recommended by Ayurveda, which I discussed in episode 16, is really important. And that includes Abhyanga oil massage, which helps to lubricate our tissues and the joints, creating resilience against the natural drying and stiffening tendencies of aging. Now, for joint pain, there are great Ayurvedic oils like Mahanarayan oil and Danvantaram oil. And I'll put a link to quality Ayurvedic products in the show notes where you can find these oils and get a discount also. But applying these Ayurvedic joint oils to the affected area, massaging gently and leaving them sit for about 20 to 30 minutes, then having like an Epsom salt bath will be a great way to relieve muscle tension and joint pain. Of course, living in tune with the circadian rhythm, which I discussed in detail in episode 8, is really important to our health, aligning with nature and having consistent waking, sleeping, and eating times so that all the systems of our body are in a routine, which is when our body thrives. Performing regular exercise, really important for joint health, but we need to make sure that it's appropriate for our age, our unique constitution, and the season. Avoiding overstressing our joints and overexerting our body, as overuse or lack of rest can aggravate the vata dosha and lead to joint problems. But in general, gentle movement like some morning yoga, practicing some sun salutations to lubricate the joints, especially in cooler weather, and including the joint rotations can be really helpful. Walking or swimming also enhances joint flexibility and prevents stiffness. Of course, rest, recovery, and sleep is so important, making sure that you balance activity with adequate recovery to avoid overburdening your body. Prioritizing sleep, which is essential for our health and well-being and essential for tissue repair. And managing stress. Stress can aggravate the doshas and result in emotional stress, digestive problems, and inflammation, which can lead to joint issues. By practicing mindfulness and mindful living, it helps to build up a resilience to stress. Practices like meditation, pranayama, and mindfulness are integral to maintaining overall balance. An adequate sunlight exposure supports vitamin D absorption for bone health, of course, boosts our mood and helps to relieve stress also. So making sure that you're getting some natural sunlight exposure every day, ideally in the morning. Now, of course, Ayurveda provides great herbal support for joint health. I discussed this in detail in episode 310. But just to review a few of these beneficial Ayurvedic herbs, we have Ajmoda, which aids in conditions with the vata and kapha aggravations and specifically helps with rheumatism, arthritis, and gout. Shitraka is beneficial in vata and kapha aggravated joint conditions like osteoarthritis and rheumatoid arthritis. Indian frankincense is recommended for osteoarthritis and rheumatoid arthritis, preventing swelling and protecting the cartilage. It's also used for age-related joint conditions as it relieves discomfort and allows the joint to move freely. Ginger's anti-inflammatory actions can be helpful in reducing joint pain, swelling, and improving joint health. Ginger contains powerful antioxidants, which help to protect against free radical damage, and it can help reduce cartilage deterioration and improve joint function. Guggulu helps to scrape ama or toxin accumulations in the joints and pacifies vata and kapha aggravations also. Guggulu helps to strengthen bones and joints, keeping the joints healthy and mobile. And turmeric promotes circulation, and the component curcumin in turmeric has anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties, reducing inflammation in the joints, helping to alleviate pain, improving flexibility, and strengthening the joint and tendons. It is shown to be helpful in the treatment of arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, osteoarthritis, and gout. And as I said, you can check out episode 310 for more details on these herbs. But as always, I recommend that you seek professional advice before taking any herbal supplements, as they should always be tailored to your needs. And finally, we have Ritucharya or seasonal adjustments, which I discussed in detail in episode 122. But here are some general tips to support your joints. Cold, damp conditions exacerbate joint issues. During this type of weather, you want to emphasize warming, grounding practices and foods to counteract vata and kapha aggravations. I just recently published an episode on navigating kapha season, which is when the joints can become aggravated due to that damp, cold weather. So check that out. That's episode 377. Then in the hot season, you want to focus on eating seasonal foods which are cooling to the body, like cucumber, melon, watermelon, fresh cilantro, asparagus, artichoke, seasonal leafy greens, and so on. And avoiding items that may increase inflammation for the pitta dosha, like red meat, caffeine, alcohol, fermented foods, and nightshades, which are tomatoes, aubergines or eggplant, peppers, and white potatoes. During the joint of the season, pun intended there, Ayurveda does recommend cleansing the body, as we talked about throughout this episode, making sure that the digestive fire or agni is working optimally, eliminating any accumulation of ama, clear that ama from the joints, and rejuvenates the tissues. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I do have that group discounted cleanse starting March 28th. So if you want to reset your digestive system, eliminate ama accumulation, balance the doshas, boost your immune system, and promote optimal health and well-being, then check it out. All these tips are general, and it's important to understand that each joint issue requires a tailored approach. But by being proactive about joint health now, emphasizing prevention through diet, lifestyle, and detoxification, you're investing in your long-term freedom of movement, reducing the risk of invasive procedures, and ensuring a better quality of life as you age. Maintaining joint health also supports mental well-being, as the ability to move freely is closely tied to emotional health and vitality. Now, if you would like support and an approach tailored to you to take the guesswork out of all this, then check out my online services. I have my online consultations, which are focused on healing, education, and empowerment, and I tailor all the information to you and your lifestyle. The Digestive Reset Cleanse, which I've mentioned, starts March 28th, comes with a 90-minute online consultation with me so that I can tailor this holistic cleanse program to you. Now, if that date of March 28th doesn't work for your schedule, you can always choose a private cleanse, which is the same structure. You just get to choose your own dates and have me one-to-one for support. If you like to study by yourself, I recommend my online Daily Habits for Holistic Health program. It's a 28-day self-paced program with the objective to help you live in tune with the circadian rhythm and educates you on how to become your own healer. And then I combine all my services together in my Reset, Restore, Renew program. Now, this is a lot of information, but check out the comparison chart on my website, elementshealingandwellbeing.com. You can see what each service provides, and then you can decide what's best for you. And if you have questions before you book, then take advantage of my free 15-minute online services inquiry call. We can chat online and I can answer all of your questions. So there you go. There are my tips for maintaining joint health. And if you think that this episode will be helpful to family or friends, please share it with them so we can spread this wisdom of Ayurveda. If you haven't already subscribed or followed the podcast, please do so. And the new weekly episodes will automatically download for you. And if you feel like you're getting benefit from this podcast, I would really appreciate a rating and review wherever you listen to your podcasts. Come join me on social media. My new Instagram page is Elements of Ayurveda Podcast. And on Facebook, it's Elements Healing and Wellbeing. Thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take good care of yourself, be well, and bye for now. Slán go fóill.